Let's do a brief summary of the course, and I want to go back and touch on the 5 different modules that we looked at and some of the key takeaways from each. Firstly, passwords. We know how we should make strong passwords. They should be long, random, and unique. And the reality of it is, in order to do that, you're going to need to use something other than your brain. You're going to need a password manager, or even just writing them down in a book and storing it somewhere safe. But more importantly than anything, it's to make sure that the strength of those passwords is good, because they are so frequently the source of serious security risks today. Website security. I talked about HTTPS, and it's one of the only things that you can independently verify in terms of security on a website. So seeing that padlock in the address bar is enormously valuable. But we've also got to be clear that it's simply giving us confidence about encryption of the traffic, not about the quality of the website it's connecting to. VPNs are another really useful way of securing your connection, particularly when you're in an environment where you may not trust, say, the network that you're connecting to. We also talked about phishing sites and some of the obvious signs of how to spot them. Badly worded emails, missing branding, linking through to websites that don't appear to be the official site. Software maintenance. It's not a glamorous part of security. It can be quite mundane, but many of our good modern-day operating systems and applications have mechanisms of self-updating. Now, this is really important because along with the new features and bug fixes you get with software updates, you also often see serious security risks fixed. So it's important to stay up to date, but it's also important to think about how all the various things around you, running software, update themselves. Do your IoT things self-update? That's a worthwhile thing to check. On mobile devices, the most important lesson out of that entire module was to lock them. And I know that sounds like obvious advice, but it so frequently doesn't happen. And fortunately these days we can lock them not just with a PIN, but increasingly devices are supporting biometric authentication, which actually makes it extremely easy to have both a secure device and a convenient user experience. I also touched on limiting those app permissions. Don't install apps that are asking for permissions to do excessive things, and always take those apps from the official app store of your device. And finally, we just talked about IoT, the Internet of Things. And we saw many examples of everyday items getting connectivity and then having serious security vulnerabilities as a result. So think carefully about what IoT devices you have that you actually need to connect. And if you do they need to be publicly facing? And can you minimize the amount of information that they collect and then share with the web? IoT is forging ahead into all sorts of unexpected places. We finished on a very unexpected place in that module. It's an exciting time, but it also poses some pretty serious risks. So that's everything we covered, and I do hope that this has been a useful course for you that's given you some tangible, actionable items that you can take away to secure your digital footprint. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Troy Hunt.